Have you ever wondered if the monsters from our bedtime stories might be more than just myths? What if, hiding in the darkest corners of our world, creatures like the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot are still lurking? Today, we're diving deep into the world of legendary beasts to separate fact from fiction. You'll be the judge. Are these creatures real, or are they just fantastic tales? So, grab your gear, we're going monster hunting. First up, let's journey to the misty highlands of Scotland, home to the one and only Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. For centuries, people have reported seeing a long-necked, serpent-like creature gliding through the dark, cold waters of Loch Ness. The most famous proof is the surgeon's photograph from 1934, showing a creature's head and neck rising from the lake. It caused a global sensation. People were convinced Nessie was a surviving plesiosaur, a marine reptile from the age of dinosaurs. But here's the twist. Decades later, the photo was exposed as a hoax, crafted with a toy submarine and some modeling clay. Despite this, sightings continue. Modern sonar scans of the loch have revealed strange, large, moving objects that defy easy explanation. Scientists have proposed theories ranging from giant eels and seals to floating logs or even psychological phenomena. So, what do you think? A prehistoric survivor, a case of mistaken identity, or just a very clever marketing ploy for Scottish tourism? The mystery of Loch Ness remains as deep and murky as its waters. Next, we're trekking into the dense forests of North America in search of the legendary Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. This towering ape-like creature is said to roam the wilderness, leaving behind massive footprints as its calling card. The most compelling piece of evidence is the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. This short, shaky footage shows a large, hairy, bipedal figure walking away into the woods. For over 50 years, experts have debated its authenticity. Is it a man in a gorilla suit, or the first real footage of an undiscovered primate? Believers point to the creature's unique gait and muscle movements, which they argue are impossible for a human to fake. Skeptics, however, point out the lack of any physical evidence. No bodies, no bones, no definitive DNA. Thousands of eyewitness accounts exist, from seasoned hunters to casual hikers, all describing a similar creature. Could a species this large really stay hidden for so long in an age of drones and satellite imagery? Or is Bigfoot simply a modern manifestation of our ancient fear of the dark woods? Let's set sail to the icy waters of the North Atlantic, where sailors once trembled at the thought of the Kraken. Legends described it as a colossal sea monster, big enough to pull entire ships down to the depths with its massive tentacles. For a long time, the Kraken was dismissed as a sailor's tall tale, a fantasy born from the fear of the unknown ocean. But what if there's a grain of truth to it? Enter the giant squid. Once thought to be a myth itself, we now know that giant squids are very real, living in the deep ocean. They can grow up to 43 feet long, with eyes the size of dinner plates and powerful tentacles. We've found their remains washed ashore and even captured them on video in their natural habitat. Is it possible that the ancient tales of the Kraken were simply sightings of these real-life ocean giants? Imagine being a sailor in a small wooden ship, seeing one of those massive tentacles rise from the water. You'd probably think you were facing a world-ending monster too. So, in this case, the myth might just be a slightly exaggerated reality. From the sea to the sky, let's talk about dragons. These fire-breathing winged reptiles are a cornerstone of mythology in cultures all over the globe, from Europe to Asia. In the West, they're often portrayed as greedy, treasure-hoarding beasts to be slain by brave knights. In the East, they are revered as wise, powerful beings associated with water and good fortune. But could they have ever actually existed? Biologically, a creature that can fly and breathe fire presents some serious challenges. The sheer weight and bone structure required for flight in a large reptile is one hurdle. And the mechanism for producing and igniting fire? Scientists have yet to find a plausible biological model. However, some theories suggest that ancient discoveries of dinosaur fossils could have inspired dragon myths. Imagine unearthing the massive skull of a Tyrannosaurus rex or the long skeleton of a dinosaur. Without the context of paleontology, it would be easy to imagine it as a dragon. Perhaps dragons weren't real in the flesh, but they were very real in the fossil record, sparking the human imagination for centuries. Now for a creature that blurs the line between human and beast, the werewolf. The legend of a person who can transform into a wolf, often under the influence of a full moon, is a terrifying and ancient one. It taps into our primal fear of losing control, of our civilized selves being overtaken by a wild animal. Historically, beliefs in werewolves were sometimes linked to real medical conditions. For example, hypertrichosis, a condition that causes excessive hair growth all over the body, could have led people to be accused of being werewolves. Rabies, with its symptoms of aggression, confusion, and foaming at the mouth, could also explain some of the wild animalistic behavior described in werewolf lore. While there's no scientific evidence for humans physically transforming into wolves, the werewolf myth powerfully represents the duality of human nature, the beast that lies within us all. Let's head to the Americas to explore the myth of the chupacabra, which translates to goatsucker. This creature is a relatively modern legend, first reported in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Eyewitnesses described a spiky, reptilian-like creature that attacked livestock, particularly goats, and supposedly drained them of their blood. The legend quickly spread throughout Latin America and into the southern United States. But here's where it gets interesting. The initial descriptions of the chupacabra bear a striking resemblance to the alien creature from the movie Species. The first eyewitness even admitted she might have been influenced by the film. Later, chupacabra carcasses that were found and studied turned out to be coyotes or raccoons suffering from severe mange, a skin disease that causes hair loss and skin deformities, giving them a truly monstrous appearance. So, is the chupacabra a real cryptid, or a fascinating case study in how modern media and real animal diseases can combine to create a brand new monster? Our journey wouldn't be complete without visiting the Himalayas, the home of the Yeti, or the abominable snowman. Similar to Bigfoot, the Yeti is described as a large, ape-like creature that inhabits the snow-covered peaks. The legend gained international fame in the 1950s when mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed a large, mysterious footprint in the snow. For years, adventurers and scientists have searched for more conclusive proof. In 2017, a major DNA study was conducted on various samples attributed to the Yeti, including hair, bone, and skin collected from monasteries and expeditions. The results? Almost all the samples were traced back to known animals, primarily the Himalayan brown bear and the Tibetan blue bear. It seems that these bears, which can sometimes walk on their hind legs, are the likely culprits behind the Yeti legend. So, while a mysterious snow ape might not be real, the idea of a giant bear roaming the highest mountains on Earth is pretty incredible in its own right. Finally, let's fly with the thunderbird. In the mythology of many indigenous peoples of North America, the thunderbird is a massive, powerful bird said to create thunder by flapping its wings and lightning by flashing its eyes. It's a sacred figure, representing power and strength. But could a real bird have inspired these stories? Some cryptozoologists believe the thunderbird could be a surviving pterosaur or a teratorn, a giant prehistoric bird with a wingspan of up to 12 feet that went extinct thousands of years ago. Sightings of enormous birds have been reported into modern times. But like with Bigfoot, the evidence is purely anecdotal. There are no clear photos, and no physical remains have been found. It's more likely that the thunderbird is a powerful spiritual symbol, a way for people to explain and connect with the awesome power of nature, particularly thunderstorms. The myth serves as a reminder of the respect and awe that natural forces command. So, after our whirlwind tour of the world's most famous mythical beasts, what's the verdict? From the Loch Ness Monster to the Thunderbird, it seems many legends can be traced back to real animals, misinterpreted fossils, medical conditions, or even clever hoaxes. But the lack of hard evidence doesn't make these stories any less fascinating. These myths are a reflection of us, our fears, our creativity, and our enduring desire to believe that there's something more to this world than what we can see. They keep our sense of wonder alive. What do you think? Did we miss your favorite cryptid? Let me know in the comments below which of these creatures you believe might still be out there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures into the unknown.